Speaker, I rise today to speak against the Work Health and Safety Amendment Digital Work Systems Bill. The electorate of Epping is home to many businesses, small, medium, large, from cafes to pharmacies to professional services and local shops. These businesses power our local suburbs. They provide the coffees, the takeaway meals, the lunches, the haircuts, medicines to our families. They also employ hundreds, if not thousands, of workers. The safety of these workers is, of course, a priority, and legislation that properly balances the interests of businesses with the rights of workers is one that we all have an interest in. This bill does not achieve that balance. It is a bad amendment that reflects a deal done with the unions. And we know this because of the way these amendments have come about. First, as a tacked-on amendment to a version of a workers' compensation bill, and then when it became apparent that that bill may fail, it was moved to its own standalone bill. We can only surmise the powers of the union over the minister, because this bill does provide a carte blanche for unions to enter workplaces and access any digital system used by a business. Digital systems that under the current definition in the legislation is so broad, it could include practically anything, from payroll, emails, marketing systems to HR systems. This would give unions unprecedented access to sensitive information. This is a bill that prioritises union access over privacy, innovation, and job creation. If it does not include certain systems, or if it does not provide for broad access to those systems, then it is for the government to clarify through this House and in a way that is transparent and provides certainty for businesses. The fact that they have not done so means that the concerns that we are raising are indeed based in reality. The concerns about the drafting of this bill are coming from the organisations that are on the ground talking to businesses every day. Peak business groups, including the Business Council of Australia, retail and small business associations, have raised serious concerns with this bill as it is currently drafted. They have warned that these powers go well beyond traditional health and safety frameworks and will open businesses to a disproportionate compliance burden and regulatory uncertainty. This bill is nothing but a Trojan horse for unions to get access to businesses across New South Wales, including the thousands of small and medium businesses that power the local economy of Epping. These businesses, as with many others across Western Sydney and the state, will not have the resources to deal with the compliance burden that this legislation creates. This bill risks undermining the confidence of our businesses, a confidence that is already under threat from the high taxes and excessive red tape that these businesses must operate under from multiple levels of government. And yesterday, more bad news was delivered for our businesses and the New South Wales economy, with the RBA raising interest rates, imposed in part because of the excessive spending by state and federal Labor governments. Our local businesses must now face the prospect that local residents will pull back on their spending in our local communities. Even before yesterday's rate rise, we have seen record rises in business insolvencies, with thousands of firms forced into administration. Insolvency figures show that 14,000 businesses going insolvent nationally in 24-25, a 33% increase on the year before. And yet, at this very critical moment for businesses and for the economy, the government is proposing a law that adds ambiguity and risk to the compliance burden of the very businesses that create jobs and keep our local communities thriving. Instead of supporting clarity, it hands regulators and union officials expansive powers. The ambiguity and uncertainty has only been fuelled by statements from the Premier directly contradicting the responsible minister, suggesting that in order to gain access to a business's digital work systems, a union official or regulator would first have to go to court. There is no requirement to go to court or be able to access a digital system. The law as it is currently drafted, a union official will be able to go into a business to check digital systems without first seeking approval. We are absolutely being misled by this government. But of course, this bill reflects the approach of this government, one that is delivering for vested interests, for their mates, and not in the best interests of this state. This bill is certainly not in the best interests of New South Wales or of businesses in New South Wales. This legislation has not been through proper consultation with the business community and risks doing more harm than good for the very people we represent, including the thousands of business owners in Epping who are doing their best to support their families, employ local workers, and contribute to the prosperity of our state. I oppose the bill.